Hello friends, how are you all? Let us start with the next topic. Already we have considered about the GNP, GDP and the NNP. That is the different concepts of national income. Now here is one new concept, that is a concept of green GNP. Actually you should know in this column it is given. It is just a sort of information. I think the question is never asked on this. It is just a information that we should know that green GNP is an indicator of sustainable use of natural environment and equitable distribution of benefits of development. That means it is regarding the pollution control and the uh, we can say conservation of natural resources. It is the indicator of that. Okay. What it has been noted here, gross national product does not take into consideration the cost in terms of environmental pollution, depletion of natural resources caused by production of output. Only mere increase in GNP will not reflect the improvement in quality of life when it increases environmental pollution or reduce available resources for future generation. That means if at the time of increase in GNP, if the environment is affected inversely and if there is a use of natural resources which will reduce the available resources or reduce the stock of available resources, and that's why it is while using this GDP GNP, it is not considered. The cost of these things it's not considered while calculating the GNP. So now this green GNP has been introduced, and in this GNP, that is gross national product, sorry, green national product, then it is this cost has been included, and or we can say while calculating this, this cost are to be considered. Okay, what are the characteristics? That is sustainable economic development, that is development which should not cause environmental degradation, that is pollution and depletion of natural resources. That means our factory should be set up in that area where there will be a less pollution and it will not affect the people living in that area. Then the second one is equitable distribution of benefits of its development. That means जब भी development होगा, in that case environment को affect नहीं होना चाहिए, ना तो किसी और कोई जनरल पब्लिक को वहाँ पे health hazardous होना चाहिए, and promotes economic welfare for a long period of time, and there must be a economic welfare of the economy. That means the growth and development should be there for a long period of time, and thus how it is calculated, green GNP is equal to GNP. Here GNP, that means gross national product minus net fall in stock of natural capital plus pollution load. That we have to deduct the stock of the capital, that means a natural resources, that is known as natural capital, in what quantity it has been used, and the pollution load, what is the pollution load of that factory or industry. Okay, this is just a sort of information, but I think the question is never asked on this, but it should, at least you should know, that's why I'm taken here. Okay, now let us start with the next one, that is methods of measurement of national income. How to calculate the national income? There are three methods of measuring national income, that is output method and product method, income method, expenditure method. Okay, let us start with the output method. This method of measuring national income is also known as product method or inventory method. This method approaches national income from the output side. That means from the production side, or we can say the about the inventory. Okay, the economy is divided into different sectors such as agriculture, mining, manufacturing, small enterprise, commerce, transport, communication, and other services. All of us know this classification of the economy. I think this has been in the 11th standard in the organization of commerce, the classification of economic activities. I think that chapter, that this division of economy is clearly explained in this. Okay, let it be. I think so, because the portion has been changed over the time. So I think exactly I can't say. Okay, let it be. While using this method, utmost care must be taken to avoid multiple or double counting. This is the very much important thing while calculating the national income, that the duplication of cost has been avoided. Again, the example for that cotton and textile industry, just remember that it has been explained in the next value added method. Then the first one is final goods approach, that is final product approach. Final goods are those goods which are ready for final consumption. According to this approach, value of all final goods and services produced in primary, secondary and tertiary sector are included, and the value of intermediate transactions are ignored. See, uh, in the previous lecture also I told you that duplication of cost has been avoided. For this purpose only, all the value of final goods and services which are ready for sale or ready for consumption, that is to be taken. Here I gave you the example of the soap, bathing soap, that when it is ready for sale, that means it is already been packed with the brand name and all that packing has been done. If the soap is ready without packing, that is not considered. Intermediate goods are involved in the process of producing final goods, that is the final flow of output. Final flow of output, listen to it carefully. It's a final flow of output produced, and hence the value of final output includes the value of intermediate products. That means if we are taking the final output, final goods, the intermediate goods cost is already included in that. If the example is given, the price of bread includes the cost of wheat, making of flour, etc. And wheat and flour are both intermediate goods, therefore their values are paid up during the process of production. That means, see, while making bread, we know that flour is required. Wheat is the basic raw material required for making the bread. After that, there is a cost of making it to the flour, and after the baking process is there. Therefore, bread, their values are paid up during the process of production, and in the final product, that is bread, the values of intermediate goods are already included. Hence, while calculating the national income for this purpose, the value of bread is considered, not the value of raw material, that is wheat, and value of flour is considered. Okay. Thus, a separate accounting of the value of intermediate goods along with the accounting of value of the final product would mean double counting. If we take the values of intermediate goods and along with the value of final product, in that case both are calculated, and therefore we cannot get the correct answer for this, and to avoid this the value of only final product of goods must be computed. Okay, I think all of you are getting clear about this. The second one is value added approach. Value added approach, see the table, it is given the table here. That's going through that table, we will get the clear idea about this. See what I have given here. In order to avoid double counting, value added approach is used. According to this approach, the value added at each stage of production process is included. That means each and every stage. See, this is the stage of the cloth, that is shirt, final goods. Production stage cotton, then yarn, then cloth, and then shirt. Value of output in rupees, value of input in rupees, and value added. Okay, when the cotton is in the raw form, it is having the value of 150. Input is not there, directly we have to take the final goods, that is the cotton. After that, from cotton we make a yarn, and the cost of yarn is 250. Here the value of input is 150, so we have to take the difference in that. That means this 150 is included in that the cost of yarn, so we have to deduct this, that is 250 minus 150 will give us 100. After that, from this yarn, when the cloth is made and it cost was 400, this 250 is already included in that, so we have to deduct that. Again 400 minus 250, we will get 150. While calculating the shirt, after the cloth is made, from the cloth the shirt is made, and the price of the shirt, if it is 500, then in this 500 the value of input is 400, and we have to deduct, and that is the value added, that is 100, and we have to calculate the total value, and that is total value will come to rupees 500. Okay, I think all of you are getting clear about this. See, the value added at each stage is calculated by deducting the value of inputs from the value of output produced. The sum total added at different stages make GNP. That means we don't have to add, we have to just deduct the cost and we have to take the final goods cost, and therefore the total value added is equal to the value of final goods, that is 150 plus 100 plus 150 plus 100 is equal to 500. I think all of you are getting clear about this. This is the very much important thing. The question is asked about the how to calculate the national income or explain the product method of the by calculation of national income, and or you can say directly they can ask the explain the value added method. Okay, these are the questions that can be asked in the board paper, so just go through it. Today I'm ending lecture with this. Next, in the next lecture I will explain the other methods. Okay, till then do study well and do like and subscribe my channel. Bye.